Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Figma Hololive Shiranui Flare. You can see her there. She is number 552, as according to this box we're going to look at, because, yep, she comes with a very orange box. You can see her there in the big old window where, see stuff Figma and Hololive and 552 and her name in English and Japanese and all that stuff. And up here you have a product shot, and over here you have another photo of the figure, and another one you have a photo of the figure. And on the bottom, you have another photo of the figure and our barcode. And on the back, you have a whole bunch more product shots and warnings and copyrights and ages 15 and up. Also comes with, of course, the instructions, which are in both Japanese on one side and on the other side are in English. Tell you a bunch of stuff about the accessories and whatnot. So, Flare. Drop this down a little bit. Yeah, Flare here is a another member of Hololive Gen 3, the third one, in fact. And yep, she is kind of an elf type person. She kind of started off with this whole cool personality thing, and then we got a redesign, and also went like, I want to be myself on stream, so she kind of dropped the cool thing, and yeah. Getting up close here, you can see she's got the blonde hair with a bit of some white there. You got the kind of the very, I guess, orangish amber eyes of sorts. You got the blue and white there, and the red bows, and the white and the black and more red ribbons and ponytail. You got the blue and white ribbon there. Got some blue, red, and white there on the waist, and the brown. Lots of details in one stocking with the checkerboard. What's the flared sleeves, and also a detached sleeves, which is always a weird thing to me. And the shoes, which are, well, mismatching, one blue, one white, and so on and so forth in there. Heels and all that stuff, and you got the back with the little tassels and all that stuff. And of course, the Figma stand as per usual. And of course, she also has the elf ears, as you can see, which are, a bit softer than usual. But yeah, pretty darn good looking overall. So you got all that stuff. Of course, the stand can do all the usual stuff, rotating and hinges and all of that. Can be done here. So this member of the like I said, another member of Hololive. I don't actually watch her that often, mostly because I don't think she plays games in Roll Plus the whole, I'm not really fluent in Japanese. But articulation, head, and ball joints, so left and right and up and down, and you got waggle and all that stuff. You got lots of there. The ponytail, well, actually the ribbon can spin, weirdly enough. The ribbon can spin around a bit, which is interesting. But the ponytail's on a ball joint thing too, so you got that. That can go left and right, although it tends to pull the bow along with it. But yeah, left and right and up and down and all that stuff. It's actually kind of one of those weird ball joint hinge type things. Shoulders. Again, it's Figma shoulders. So you got full rotation there. You got outward. You got the inner socket, so you can go up and down, forward and back, and all that stuff, and around in the socket as well. Do kind of have a swivel of sorts there as well. You got, this can swivel down here at the elbow as well. Elbow can bend that far. Wrists can rotate and also hinge a bit. So you got all that. The torso, there is a ball joint there, so you got that, and up, forward, and back, and side to side, and rotation there. There is, I believe, another rotation joint right here. There's a waist joint right there, although it's kind of limited thanks to design. And there's also, again, forward and back and all that stuff as well. So you got all that right there. And the hips can pull in and out for more posability because they specifically call that out. So yeah, you got the hips themselves can go forward, actually pretty far. And you really don't need this to pull out, but if you do, you can get a lot of posability, particularly because of her design. That far and back, pretty far. Outward, you got, well, if the waist joint itself doesn't move, you got about that much outward and whatnot. There is a swivel of sorts there. Knee bend, you got that much range. There's also, you can rotate at the knee as well, and the feet can go forward and back as well, and you got rotation and a bit of tilting as well. And there's your posability. Just get their all situated. Some of the joints are like, particularly the shoulder joints, can be a little stiff, weirdly enough. So it's difficult sometimes to get her posed correctly because the shoulder joints really just don't want to move. And on this foot, the tilt really doesn't like to move a whole lot either on this foot, weirdly enough. This foot's fine. This one's kind of stiff and fights a lot. So there we go. Get her standing properly. Because before I get into accessories, of course, I want to do comparisons now before things get all muddled. Just real quick, here she is with her current gen mates. Pecora, the first, and Rushia. They are different heights. Rushia is the shortest. Flare is currently the tallest. I believe Noelle is slightly taller than Flare, though. I have to double check that. One of those things, if you're getting Flare, probably a lot of people are getting Flare, also getting Noelle, and vice versa, because, well, the two of them. Yeah, accessories, of course, you have the usual Figma bag. And let's see, you have a whole plank of hands. You have open splayed hands, you have gripping hands, you have pointing fingers, and you also have the fists right there, and you have these the bow and arrow hands, which I'll get into that in a little bit. I'll go ahead and the swaps at that point when I talk about that stuff. You have, just in case you break the wrist joint, you have a replacement one. There's also another hand, which is the left hand, but with a ring, because, yeah, her and Noelle are pretty much a thing. You have two alternate faces, which, you know, one kind of big smile, closed eyes, and one with a bit of a wink. And, of course, swapping those out is pretty easy. Of course, you just take the front of the hair off, as usual. Front of the hair off. Pull the face off. Be mindful of the ears because they are pointing, but, you know, could be potential breakage points if you're not careful. Yeah, just swap that in and boom, there you go. Now you got that. She also has an alternate front hair thing, which has the glasses, which they specifically call out as fragile as well. So just be careful. But yeah, just simple swap there. Just, you know, pull the old hair out and put the new one in. There you go. Now she's wearing glasses. She also has an additional stand piece, which this is supposed to clip onto here, like that. And the reason for that is for this little dude, little panda guy, looking the guy. And the thing is, this guy has got a little bit of articulation. His head can rotate a bit, and that's about it. But yeah, it's just got a little hole right there in the back of the head, and you can. This has got a ball joint in the back, and you just put that on. There you go. He's supposed to float around, and yeah, this right here, this can well, of course, swivel on that and rotate here and rotate here, as well as, of course, the ball joint, so you can angle that guy a bit as well. And if you pre-order, you get this bag, or pre-ordered from a Good Smile shop, U.S. or international, and you get the red one, which works the same way, you know, ball joint and swivel and all that stuff. It's just red instead of black and white. And the final bit of accessories are, well, a bow and an arrow, which this is well do. So for those, what you got to do, and I would recommend for at least the bow, putting in the hand first. So there's two hands. There's this one that holds the bow. The left hand holds the bow, and the right hand holds the arrow. They're different. So what you do is you go ahead right here. This is peg right here. You just do that. Slip the hand over the handle, and then just peg this back in. I believe the peg is keyed, so you can only do it one way. And that is pretty simple. Just, you know, swapping the hand, of course, as usual, is just well, these on her they're very tight, and on top of that, the sleeves get a little in the way. Stutter a little bit. Yeah. And then with the bow, at the very least, I'd recommend putting this on first, just to make it a little bit easier to deal with. And then with the arrow, it's a little weird. Because, okay, so this is the arrow holding hand, and it's, there's actually specifically a hole right there between the knuckles to plug the arrow in. Now, be really careful with the arrow. It's thin. It's very thin plastic. You can see it has a lot of give, but like, be really careful because you're supposed to take this little peg and peg it into the hand, and it can be a little tricky because you have to have a good hold on the hand when you're doing this, and you really don't want to mess this up. So be really careful. Support the hand if you can. I know this is part of the reason why the flared sleeves are a little difficult to deal with, because it's best to hold the hand specifically where you're putting this in, because otherwise the hand could move on this joint here, and then you slip, and now your arrow bends or worse breaks, and so you want to be really careful. Yeah, that just pigs right into the hand there, and there you go. Now she's holding that so she can do the bow and everything. The bow, weird enough, does not have any sort of string. I'm wondering if that's sort of supposed to be like a magic bow or something, or this kind of decided not to do the string. But yep, you can just you have to kind of pose it right, but yeah, you can kind of get her all ready to go to do that sort of thing. So that's the thing you can do if you want. A whole another posing option, and yeah, just pretty neat that that's a thing. So there you go. That's the accessories. Yeah, she's pretty good. All things considered, she's actually for all things, I would say she's a very nice one, just because her posability is not really hampered because of the whole. Other than maybe the arms themselves, because the very intricate sleeves kind of can be a little posed. But she doesn't have a long dress, or her lower body posability is not very hampered at all. She has she can kick really high and everything. She's well sculpted, decent accessory count. The bow and arrow is pretty cool in of its own right, and yeah, that's pretty much your lot there. And of course, she comes with the extra accessory for when you get Noelle, because you want to make them upset. But yeah, of course, the only thing is it's a Hololive figure, so it kind of comes with that weird Hololive tax, which is, for whatever reason, Hololive stuff is just more expensive than their like other Figmas or whatever. So like basically add $10, whatever. I don't know why, but yeah. So this one's gonna be like, I believe if you buy from the US shop, it's like $90, or will be if you haven't pre-ordered. I got mine. I just saw the price. It was, I think, after conversion rates, I think it came out to about $65-ish total, shipped and everything. $65, $70, something like that. Yeah, somewhere in that neighborhood. So that's a pretty decent price considering all the stuff you're getting. But just be aware that, yeah, just like pretty much every Hololive figure so far, it's just always more expensive than the other Figmas, just because I'm guessing Hololive is demanding higher licensing fee or something. But yeah, pretty good figure, just going to be a bit more spendy than your usual Figma, which are already kind of on the kind of the spendier side when it comes to 1/12 scale figures. So there you go. I like it a lot, and I think it's pretty nice and posable. Mine's overall pretty good. Just the only thing I'd say watch out for is the arrow. Be careful with the arrow, and the sleeves can kind of get in the way of themselves a little bit, but it's not too bad. You just kind of have to know what you're doing. So that's it. I hope you found this entertaining or informative. I hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Twitter. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1. And I just realized that I'm kind of an idiot. And I've been saying the wrong web thing for co-host. It's cohost.org/nemesis-prime.com is apparently some web hosting service. Whoops. And you can also check out my Patreon coffee. And I shall see you next time with another video review.